Nigeria and BRICS. Brazil's recent announcement of Nigeria's admission as a partner country in the BRICS alliance opens a new chapter in the country's international relations and economic strategy. The Brazilian Foreign Ministry confirmed the move on Friday, a decision that places Nigeria alongside other partner countries such as Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Thailand, Uganda, and Uzbekistan. While this is undeniably a step forward for Nigeria in terms of global recognition, it also brings into focus some of the internal challenges that continue to undermine the country's full potential on the international stage. At first glance, Nigeria's inclusion in BRICS seems to position the country for enhanced economic opportunities. With Africa's largest population and economy, Nigeria offers substantial market potential, resources, and a growing workforce. BRICS, which initially began as a platform for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, has long been seen as a bloc that aims to challenge the dominance of traditional Western powers in global economic affairs. Nigeria's presence in BRICS strengthens this alliance's voice in global governance, particularly on issues such as reforming international trade systems and advocating for fairer economic policies. But beyond the diplomatic symbolism, Nigeria's partnership with BRICS raises several questions about the nation's internal dynamics. While the partnership might present an avenue for economic collaboration with other emerging markets, Nigeria's continued struggles with corruption, political instability, and governance issues cannot be ignored. For all its potential, Nigeria remains a country where internal interests are often sidelined in favor of elite agendas, a trend that could potentially undermine the benefits of its BRICS membership. In a country where corruption continues to plague both public and private sectors, Nigeria's path to utilizing its BRICS partnership effectively may be clouded by the same obstacles that have historically hindered its development. With the pervasive corruption affecting everything from infrastructure development to education and healthcare, Nigeria has struggled to create an environment where the broader population can fully benefit from its resources and international relationships. While the government touts reforms and investment plans, the challenge of managing vast resources and redirecting them toward national development remains. BRICS, with its focus on economic cooperation, might seem like an ideal platform to Nigeria to promote growth. However, the country's own internal contradictions complicate this. Despite its considerable resources, Nigeria has failed to diversify its economy away from its dependency on oil exports. As the country moves forward in its partnership with BRICS, it will need to address these fundamental issues if it hopes to capitalize on the bloc's offerings, whether it's in terms of trade, investment, or technology transfer. Furthermore, Nigeria's admission to BRICS may spark questions about its role within a bloc of countries that, although united in their pursuit of a more multipolar world, often have different economic strategies and political ideologies. As Brazil and other BRICS members seek to expand their influence, Nigeria's involvement could be seen as both an opportunity and a challenge. Nigeria's economic model, still reliant on oil revenue, is not always aligned with the diversified, industrialized approaches seen in other BRICS countries like China or India. The question then arises, How can Nigeria benefit from this partnership without confronting its own structural limitations? The internal contradictions of Nigeria's political system add another layer of complexity to this discussion. For a country whose political elites have often prioritized personal and group interests over the public good, Nigeria's global ambitions risk being undermined by the same governance failures that stymie its domestic progress. As Nigeria deepens its engagement with BRICS, it will need to reconcile its internal aspirations with the very challenge of building trust and accountability at home. The influence Nigeria gains in global forums could serve as a double-edged sword, amplifying both its successes and its failures. This internal struggle, where external aspirations collide with internal realities, will be central to Nigeria's future trajectory within BRICS. While the partnership could catalyze economic development, it's unlikely to be a silver bullet for a nation still wrestling with endemic corruption and the lack of meaningful governance reform. Nigeria will need to undertake significant structural changes in order to harness the full potential of its BRICS membership. The ability to build institutions, tackle corruption, and ensure that the benefits of economic growth are shared more equitably will determine whether Nigeria's new alliance with BRICS leads to lasting change or simply becomes another chapter in the country's long history of unfulfilled promises. Looking ahead, the aftermath of Nigeria's inclusion in BRICS will be shaped by how effectively the country can balance its external ambitions with the pressing internal reforms needed for sustainable growth. If Nigeria can overcome its domestic challenges, its position within BRICS could help solidify its standing as a key global player, not just in Africa, but on the international stage as well. However, if these challenges persist, Nigeria risks finding itself sidelined within the very bloc it seeks to influence. Its vast potential stifled by the same forces that have historically held it back. In sum, Nigeria's entry into BRICS is a development that offers both promise and caution. It points to the country's growing influence in global affairs, but also highlights the complex and ongoing struggle between Nigeria's international aspirations and its domestic realities.